We begin with what is probably a family's absolute worst nightmare. A dramatic rescue in Sterling Heights when a little girl goes into cardiac arrest during an asthma attack.
No, she was hospitalized, but is expected to be okay thanks to the quick work of first responders who saved her life. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack with her story.
Chaotic scene. You know, you have a mom that's you know, obviously hysterical, right? She doesn't know what to do. She just needs help now.
A 7-year-old girl on the ground, unresponsive. Mom dials 911 to Sterling Heights dispatch.
911, what's the address of the emergency? Okay, listen.
It came out as a child not breathing.
Quanisha Walton says her daughter was suffering an asthma attack likely brought on by an allergic reaction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sterling Heights police officers fighting rush hour traffic and construction Wednesday. They're in minutes trying to revive her.
You see me? There you go.
Our officers are parents as well, you know, so that weighs on their shoulders. The fire department, same as them.
Some success, a faint pulse.
Hey, sweetheart, can you see us? Got a little breath out of her right there. You're okay, baby.
Sterling Heights Fire, EMTs, they get there as the little girl shows signs that she's coming back. Mom hops in with Sterling Heights Fire Battalion Chief Jeff Duncan.
And I just tried to talk to Mom and kind of calm her down, tell her that her daughter was in good hands.
A short ride to the hospital by police escort, agonizing for Mom. Meanwhile, paramedics are able to give the little girl life-saving medicine.
Seeing that little girl sitting up on the cot as they pulled her out of the back of the ambulance when we arrived at Corewell Health was really awesome. And I looked over at Mom and I said, look at her sitting up.
All in a day's work for these first responders, but a life-altering save for this family. Reporting in Sterling Heights, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
A Shelby Township man was not going to let 3 thieves get away with anything. He opened fire on 3 suspects accused of breaking into his home. This happened this morning at a condo on Valenti Lane near Hall and Hayes Roads. Police say the would-be thieves wore ski masks and broke in around 1:15 in the morning. Now, those suspects are still out there. If you know anything at all, make sure to reach out to police. We don't know right now if any of them were shot.
New details on a fiery car crash near the Macomb County Circuit Court building that left the driver dead. And now we're learning that driver was just 18 years old. Here's a look at security video moments before the crash. Deputies saying that the victim crashed near the building on North Main near Gratiot. This happening around 7:45 last night. The crash shutting down northbound Gratiot between Crocker and Market Street for nearly 6 hours. We'll have more details coming up tonight on Fox 2 News at 6.
Well, as we've often said, the auto industry accounts for 3% of our GDP. It is very important what happens with the big 3 and the UAW. And believe it or not, we're actually nearing the 1-week mark of that strike. And more workers could hit the picket lines tomorrow if the deadline is... we get to the deadline and a deal is not reached.
And the UAW says it's just fighting for fair wages, but the big 3, they're warning they won't be able to compete with other automakers if they have to give in to these workers' demands. Let's get right to Fox News' Charlie Langton. He's live from Michigan, stamping in Wayne with more. Charlie, what are the workers behind you saying about how they're doing almost a weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what, first of all, I think I'm with some of the highest paid workers, auto workers in the whole country here. They believe they deserve it, but they believe they want more money, and they're ready to go on strike and to continue the strike if need be. We're at day 7 now. A little bit more on that later. Now, what about the company? What about the profits? The president has said that these auto companies have made billions of dollars in profits. But is that actually true? Take a look.
They're buying American-made cars, but they may not be UAW-made cars.
Sure, many passerbys are beeping in support of the striking workers, but auto analyst John McElroy says they're not necessarily putting their money where their mouth is.
The Detroit 3 have significantly higher labor costs than most of their competition in the United States. And as a result, the foreign automakers operating in the U.S. have nearly 60% of the U.S. market.
And maybe more shocking, McElroy says those auto workers working for foreign auto companies here in the United States make less than UAW workers.
If you work at Toyota or Honda or Mercedes or BMW or Hyundai or Kia or any of them, you earn far less money than what the UAW workers are being paid.
And yet McElroy says that many of the auto workers working for the foreign auto companies here in the U.S. and making less money do not want to join the UAW. Why not?
They look at the corruption that's been there. They look at all these people
But that's gone, though. The corruption's gone.
Well, in their minds, the corruption is not gone.
If the corruption is gone, do you think we will see more foreign companies joining force with the UAW to get more money?
I think it's highly unlikely.
Why?
It could happen. I think it's unlikely.
Isn't that what Shawn Fain really wants, more membership?
Sure, he does. And in fact, that's something that is a duty of his, an obligation of his, is to go out and organize the transplants. Because if he puts the big three at a competitive disadvantage, much more severe than it is now, that's a threat to his jobs, his members' jobs.
All right, so really, I guess the moral of the story is not only buy American cars, but buy UAW-made American cars. A couple more percentages of the share of UAW-made cars might go a long way for these guys. Tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m., your president, Shawn Fain, Facebook Live. He's going to announce what's going on. Prediction, more strike or a settlement?
Continue to strike.
Why is that?
Because we're not there yet. We got to get there, right? We got to put everything on the table, and everybody's got to get what we got to get, right? So he's going to continue to do everything he can to keep us out here as long as possible to get all that.
$500 a week. Can you hold out?
We'll see.
All right, we'll see tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Shawn Fain, tomorrow. And that'll be the continuation of the strike or a settlement, which would be better, right? Yeah. All right. I am live here at the Michigan Assembly plant in Wayne. Charlie Langton, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, you talk about those membership numbers. It was just in 2017 that UAW membership was upwards of 400,000. Now they're down to 150,000. Those workers, though, that remain, they seem to be holding the line of what Fain is saying and being very faithful to his message.
Well, I think there are a couple of things going on here. I mean, you can't price yourself out of being competitive with other companies. It's nice to buy American cars, but these people want UAW cars too. But again, how far can you go? The other thing is membership. Yes, UAW membership may be down, but a good strike, a good contract, a good collective bargaining agreement might do a lot. Not only to get more membership, but to get a little more morale here that I think the UAW I'm seeing is certainly more than I have seen in years past.
Well,
that's it. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Well, I know we'll be there. Thanks so much, Charlie Langton, for us live tonight.
All right, so we know what's coming, the final hours of summer, and it's been so beautiful out there today. We were out enjoying it, seeing the sun and thinking, you know what? Pretty soon it's going away.
Yeah, it'll go away, but let's not forget, Stephanie, that we have an entire fall that's beautiful before winter comes. Don't let fall be the fall guy for winter.
You know what? You're right. Have you guys been seeing any changing leaves out there?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's been nice kind of being able to see some of those really nice colors as of right now. Also, we did manage to see a lot of sunshine today, too. Numbers topped out lower 80s. This is actually the Chicago skyline in the background here. They are dealing with a few light showers there. We are steering clear of all the rain here across most of the state, and I think we're staying dry heading into this upcoming weekend. 80 degrees in Lansing right now, 79 in Detroit, 79 in Sturgis, 80 degrees for those out near Benton Harbor, South Haven. You're seeing temps near 80 degrees, 82 out near Muskegon. Those are where those showers are at right now, tracking up towards the north. So they're headed towards Milwaukee, northern Illinois. You're seeing those lighter showers too. That does include the Chicagoland area. Steering clear of us here. We do have that potential for seeing some cloud cover to mix in from time to time through early tomorrow morning. But I think as a whole, we'll see a bright end to the week, also a warm end to the week as well. Numbers right now, upper 70s to near 80 degrees out near Howell, 80, 79 in Ann Arbor, 79 also here in the metro area, 80 in Lansing right now. And our numbers heading through the overnight hours will remain relatively mild. I think a lot of us will drop to the lower 60s as we head through the overnight and into early tomorrow morning. We will eventually start to see our numbers cool. Rain chances do return as well. So we'll have timing on that in the full forecast in the next 10 minutes or so. Hillary?
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Breaking news in New York State. A charter bus carrying high school students crashed down an embankment. Just look at the images here. We're told at least one person is dead and 43 others were taken to the hospital. At least 5 are seriously hurt. There were around 45 people on the bus, most of them students. They were traveling from Long Island to a band camp in Pennsylvania. This happened in Orange County, New York, about 45 miles northwest of New York City.
On the international front, and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in Washington today making his case to lawmakers for more help for the war-torn country. Zelensky met with lawmakers from both sides, Republicans indicating that they want to ask some tough questions on plans to win the war as a new round of aid is set to be announced soon, the 4th round in less than 2 months. Zelensky also meeting with President Biden at the White House. This is his second trip to Washington since the start of the war in February of 2022.